We left Winnowing Reach to head to Alderheart, and we followed the path.
We investigated a scorched campground. They found a pouch which she doesn't want to open up.
I don't even know what it is.
Let's jump to the chase here. We killed a bunch of people, and then the one that we didn't kill because they were mentally enslaved by the little Gerbine over there. We handcuffed and are definitely not going to waterboard this thing since our moral compass is gone.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, the cool one got away and we couldn't find him. Slash, maybe might be able to find him with Hunter's Mark. Who knows?
Oh, I was supposed to ask Reddit.
About what?
Whether Hunter's Mark can capture.
Hunter's Mark's literal purpose is for tracking.
It's up to 1,000 feet, I think.
Yeah, for an hour.
Oh. Well.
You get advantage on survival and investigation checks to find the source, essentially.
Okay.
On whatever's marked. That's what the skill says, at least.
Okay.
I can read it if you want. Mm-hmm. Advantage wisdom perception or wisdom survival checks to find it. That's what it is. For an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still have to make the check.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You still have to make the check.
That's what I was wondering. Thank you.
Yeah. But if I'm trying to find it, it's just you have a better chance.
A better chance at it. Yeah, that was a great recap.
I'd like to go over to the Apoc.
Yeah,
and
so you're day 2 into your day journey.
Oh, am I gonna lose
Okay.
it? No, we're good. I'd like to go over to the Apoc.
Hello.
Grab the Apoc by the scruff and say, "Where are the other drugs going?"
Grab me by the scruff.
All right.
This is right where we picked up last time. Because I think at this point he's still just drawing in the dirt under Basil's charm. Hasn't been able to break out of it just yet. If you're gonna go and grab him, give him a slap.
Yeah.
I believe that's enough to break him out.
Well,
Startle up.
Well, what are we gonna do?
Don't touch me.
Okay, and I let him go. So who wants to start?
Let him go?
Well, I'm just gonna.
He's still bound, right?
Yeah. Still bound.
I let go of his scruff.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of sitting in front of you. I don't know where the rest of you are. The servant had just gotten away. There was a couple of people in the forest. That's sort of where we're picking up.
I assume we're standing around the Apoc, and Sir Basil's probably most likely back to his normal size. He's not this hulking thing anymore.
Okay.
Sir Basil says, "We've got a couple of questions for you." He's kind of pointing his little finger at this Apoc's face. What were you doing here? Why did you ambush us?
None of your business. I'll judge this chin. As you're standing, sorry.
How about you tell us your name? I mean, it's a name. What's a name? What's in a name?
Basil, as you're standing sort of face to face, you can tell that this guy is on the younger side.
Okay.
What does it matter to you?
Okay, well, I'm just gonna call you Todd. Just so we have something. I don't want to just call you the Apoc. I'm the Apoc. You're Todd. Fuck Todd.
Whatever.
Fuck you, Todd.
Man, this guy's such a Todd.
Todd.
I just punch him in the gut.
We get the
He
sense.
can't defend himself, so.
Do we get the sense that Todd is like scared, or like he's trying to like put up a front in front of us?
Ooh, make an insight check.
That is a 21.
21. Yeah, you're face to face with him. You're small enough that even though he's taller than you, as he's kind of reeling and on his knees from Apoc's punch, you get the sense that there's a little bit of false bravado, a little bit of the need to prove, a little bit of fear, kind of all sort of hidden.
Okay, interesting.
Guys, I can't remember. Did they attacked us first, right?
Yes, they
Yeah.
trapped us in their net.
Why'd you attack us? We're just traveling.
Yeah, you're traveling with him.
Yeah, who?
He'll like point his gesture his chin over towards Dace, the bird folk in your troop.
Me.
His bird? His bird.
Yeah. It's because of them that the villages are getting destroyed.
Oh my god, we're dealing with one of these guys.
What is that?
Todd. When I take my turn, I gut punch him.
He can't defend himself, so these are all definitely hitting.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he doesn't have a whole lot of health. What's your unarmed strike? And what's your unarmed strike, Dace?
It's
We're just gonna kill him. It's like,
It's literally just my strength. It's
Yeah.
0, so
Okay.
right?
Well, isn't it?
unarmed strike. It's a 4.
It's one bludgeoning.
Okay.
If it hits him, it's 1.
Yeah, he can't defend himself. He's prone on the ground with his hands.
All right.
You see like a welt starting to form with, or no, not a welt. You see kind of him just like holding his stomach, and he kind of coughs up a little bit of blood as he's just glaring up at all of you.
so Basil kind of approaches and just says something along the lines of, "We don't want to hurt you, but we will if you don't give us what we're asking for."
I want to hurt him.
Your companions are gone and they've abandoned you. You kind of like, he says it almost as if he's trying to suggest, like, really, like, speak to this guy, like, you need to work with us. Like, you're hopeless right now.
Like, if you want to live, at least. We don't have a moral compass today.
No.
Yeah.
Georgina's gone.
Just trying to dust off her apron. Singed.
She's still in the forest. She's having a hard time getting out of the undergrowth. Basil.
Yeah.
Make me either a persuasion or an intimidation check. And with Apoc's statement, it'll be at advantage.
Ooh, okay. Well, it's +0 for both. So here we go. It's a 10.
That's with advantage?
Yeah.
With advantage.
Ooh.
Hold on, give me a second.
I really got.
Guess I choose no.
Yes.
What does this guy look like again?
So he is an Apoc. He is on the younger side. You can kind of tell he's got sort of a shorter snout. He is more raccoon-like in feature, although he has more, sorry, not raccoon-like, red panda-esque, but a little more of a lighter blondish fur.
We're just trying to make them cute so we don't kill them.
They're all cute.
They're
They're all
red
adorable
pandas
little
are
animals. But no, he is on the younger side. He
Okay.
is more of a reddish, tannish hue, but still kind of like the burglar mask raccoon sort of deal.
Oh, okay. Because I apologize because I left, I think, mid-fight.
Yeah.
This was one of the survivors from the fight that we had, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was,
one-
charmed, and then we bound him so he couldn't get away.
Whose idea was that?
Sorry, guys.
This is him. For those of you who watched the Super Bowl.
Ah, here we go. Okay. It was a 10. Basil?
Yeah. Could it be like a
He's
group
gonna-
check? Like a.
Pardon me?
Can we make it a group check because we're all trying to?
No, that was what the advantage was for.
Okay.
He's gonna kind of like glaring up at all of you, trying to shuffle away just a little bit. You see kind of the blood running down his face from where he had to cough stuff up from Dace's kick and Apoc's punch. And he's just going to like try and get his legs under him as he looks at you. Why are you helping them?
I assume, okay, helping who? The bird folk?
Yeah.
Because even though there may be some who are cruel, there are many who are honorable men, honorable, humble folk.
Just a grunt, I don't know. Is that enough? Will you let me go?
Sorry, what did he say?
I'm just a grunt. I don't know anything.
I want to know what the bird folk did to him. That makes us like resent the bird folk.
Glare at you. All you bird folk. You sit in your perches, high in the trees. You sit behind your walls and castle in Alderheart. You don't care about us humble folk at all. Our villages burn. My home burned.
Fair enough. Jeez.
He's gonna try and just slowly, like, in the dirt, start to kind of pull himself a little bit farther away from you all.
Are you from Ashborough?
Brackenmill.
Where's that?
Brackenmill is on the other side, the east side of Alderheart, but still kind of in like the heart of a forest. It's just at the edge of the mountain range.
That place burned down too?
Attacked a while ago, a couple of years, late in the night.
By what?
You won't believe me if I told you.
Mapact to Mapact. Mapact. We're going to Alderheart to try and put a stop to this kind of thing.
Yeah, and we tried to tell them ages ago.
Yeah.
They were flying creatures and they didn't believe us.
Sometimes if like another group, like you said it once, we're gonna say it a second time. The more people that come forward, they'll believe it, right? Like all you gotta do is try. Back.
Hearing that Todd mentioned flying creatures, so Basil kind of like interjects. It's like flying creatures. What flying creatures?
Or for
It's a 4.
persuasion.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, roll for persuasion.
No, sorry,
just
that was
roll
for
for-
Sean. I'll get to your question in 1 second. Finish. You get to the council.
Yeah.
You can tell them and they'll believe you. I would eat my own foot.
Oh, don't do that.
They didn't
Do
believe
it.
us. We didn't even get
Do it.
We didn't even get to see them. So good luck, man.
Okay, we go to the council. What's your name? Because like, if I tell them somebody else was here, they're gonna want to know who it was.
Wrong.
Brom?
Wrong.
Brom. Pat.
Brom.
Okay, I'll tell them
Brom.
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 Like you got fire on this side, fire on that side. They're in the middle. They're gonna have to realize this is coming for them at some point.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Okay.
Why don't you come with us?
He wants to kill you.
We'll keep him in line.
All right, but that's your burden to bear.
Sorry, go ahead, Cameron.
As I'm finishing off a cookie that I've swiped from Mrs. Q's basket.
Got a couple burns on it from where.
So what are we gonna do with this Todd fella?
Brum.
Okay, Todd Brum, doesn't matter. Is he just gonna be a burden? See what I did there?
I made a double and nobody picked up on it.
I know, but I wanted to just
like that.
I just wanted to reinforce how sharp you are. I'm pretty sure that was one on your early blogs, boar logs.
Yeah, it's a bear's burden. It's the story of Pax.
Georgina!
All right, as I'm with crumbs falling down onto my shirt, and I have my dagger. You want me to just finish them off because like we got stuff to do.
It's up to Dace. Dace wants them to come along. Like we can bring them in tow if we need, but
I just want to get the story straight. So he's mad at the bird folk for destroying his village because he saw flying creatures. And I directly look at Todd and I'm like, are you sure it's the bird folk and not some mythical creature?
He'll kind of look at you. I don't know what creature it was. Bird folk don't fly. I feel like you should know that.
You said they were flying creatures.
They were flying creatures that destroyed everything. But the bird folk didn't believe us, and they didn't do anything to help. The coalition took me in. I'm not going back to Owl the Park. So if you're not going to release me, you're just going to have to kill me.
Pardon me.
There's just a slight waiver.
Bull who? Bull who? Who took you in, Bull?
what?
What?
Did you say Bull's?
The coalition.
Oh, the Coal. I heard Bull something. And I was wondering who that was.
Oh, no, you lagged out.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, the coalition.
Oh.
Yeah.
Setting up for another pun.
I was like...
No, I was just trying to take notes. I was like, okay.
Yeah, the coalition took him.
Coalition or coalition?
Coalition.
Coalition? Like coal?
You guys, who are you? Do you have any idea what's going on right now?
We need a name, guys.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Then we all huddle around and be like, all right, guys and girls, Miss Q.
What do we want to go with? I think this is the appropriate time to figure out a group name.
What about the?
Yeah.
What about
We're
the?
all huddled around and Todd's just in the background, just scurrying away.
As you come into your huddle, you you all hear like
Hey, 1 second.
as Todd is trying to get away.
Can I walk over to him and like just like hit him in like a kneecap to like get him to like sit down?
Oh.
He's still doubled over, like he's kind of like crawling along.
I would like to make a melee weapon attack using something improvised from my pack.
Okay.
I pull out from my bag the first thing I grab, which is a bell, and I'm just gonna hit him.
Okay.
I'm gonna clock him across the knee with a bell.
Okay.
Since this bell is worth more than a silver piece, I would like to also apply my roaring blade ability to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's prone on the ground, doubled over. Like there's no way.
Cool.
Like it hits.
Okay, so since it's a strength attack, that'll be 0 damage. But if he moves,
Okay, cool.
he takes 1d8 damage, and we are alerted to his movement.
Very, very cool.
Okay. So you wrap him on the kneecap.
You're not
and
going-
He just like.
Yeah, stay there. And I walk over back to the huddle. Okay, this is the appropriate time to figure out a group name.
All right.
What about the Bellbusters? That was pretty cool.
1, 2. How many people do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people.
Roll a d8, Eric. As he is absolutely trying to sneak away.
That's a that's a 1. 1 force damage is a big explosion of sound. Hey, what did I say?
What the hell, man? What is that?
I walk back over.
He's like grabbing one ear.
I walk over and do it again.
What about?
Wait, sorry. Do what?
I do it again.
Do it again.
Oh, it's not a continue. Okay. Yeah, all right. It hits.
Also,
Out on the ground.
Eric, I think you're downloading something in the background, so you're just a PowerPoint presentation right now. on Zoom.
What?
You're very laggy. Yeah.
Ooh,
Do you just want to restart your camera?
maybe. Okay. I'll figure it out. Thanks for the heads up.
What about the fur real friends?
The fur real friends. If you don't have fur.
It's just a play on birds. What's it? Or as soon as I counted 5, what about the high fives?
Is that from something? Like high fives is a group already. I like for real friends.
They're trying to figure out a name for the team.
Hey guys, sorry.
Hey.
Are you feeling okay?
No. I
Don't force it if you're not feeling great.
Yeah,
Have
it's
a-
okay, Georgina.
have a good
some
berry.
tea.
Oh, I would eat so many good berries. But I like for real friends. I have fur, so I'm cool.
And we could be the furries for short.
All right, go lay down. Go feel better.
Go lay down, Georgina. Go curl up.
All right. Maybe we wait till Mrs. Quillam's back, and then we'll figure it out.
Does she have fur?
My belly.
The belly furs.
The belly furs?
All right, well, we'll work on it.
The interim name though is furry friends. I mean the for real friends.
Huddle break, and we just like turn back to.
Oh, yeah.
You turn back just as you see him like stand up about to bolt despite whatever Cam did.
Oh man. I don't want to kill him. I don't think are we the bad people? We haven't, hey, you don't move. Does he have any like paraphernalia of this organization on him? Like things in his belongings? Like,
Well, we know from the last session that they're the same gang as the group of bandits that we stole that sword from in the first session, right?
yeah. Does he have like a marking or anything on it? Like a patch or?
Yeah. So as you like take a moment, he's now on his feet to kind of look him over. You do see some very ill-fitting like leather armor with a little patch just on the top shoulder with the insignia of the bandit coalition.
Is it like a shirt or a jacket? Like,
So it looks like it's almost been branded into the leather armor itself.
okay, I want to remove his leather armor. Cut it off. Maybe not cut it off, but like take it off so it's still functional. I'm assuming
Okay.
it's similar enough that it would fit me.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell because it doesn't fit him very well, but he is a little bit smaller than you and it looks a little bit big on him.
Okay.
So he could, but he's not gonna relinquish his armor in front of hostile creatures too easily. So if you want to attempt to do this, it'll be basically like a contested.
Goodness, we are just stripping away his dignity.
Yeah.
Well, while you're
How
doing,
long does anything last, Eric? Sorry.
until I do something else.
Okay.
The
19.
while you're doing that, I'm gonna go investigate the bodies we killed to see if I can scrounge anything from them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Resolve this first. You had a 19?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he had a 12. Okay. So yeah, you're able to just like, now it's a little hard because his hands are manacled.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a shirt.
Yeah, that's fair.
You get it to the point where it's like,
Oh, hi.
you're gonna struggle, and you get it to the point where it's like in between his shackles, like on his arms, but because it's kind of solid, his arms are now stuck out until you can get them off because it's still leather. And it's just like, I feel like you guys are missing an important member of the party
What do you? What?
who knows a bit more on how to act.
Yeah. Okay. But like, you attacked us. You think we're just gonna let you walk out of here with all your stuff? That's not how this works.
Well,
Take off your stuff.
I can't.
Days, can you come hold him down?
Yeah. And I'll take my talons and I'll press my talons against his throat while he's lying on the ground.
Okay.
I love the
Are you
pictures.
attempting to do damage? Are you attempting to do damage?
No. Just hold him in place.
While he's on top of him, I'll unmanacle, take the leather, and then remanacle.
So straight up, Georgina by accident connected her AirPods, so I couldn't hear anything. And then as soon as it comes back, it's just like Daze is on top of him for some reason. It's like, oh.
We're the for real friends.
These chuckleheads are attempting to take off like a piece of leather armor that's.
I love how once Miss Q just leaves, it's like the boys party.
Oh, we could be the Beastie Boys.
Oh, the Beastie Boys featuring Miss Q.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
While they're trying to like manhandle Brom, Sir Basil will once again try and like reason with him, saying, "You're forcing our hand. You're only making this happen to yourself. You need to cooperate with us. Tell us what we need to know."
We'll get to that in 1 second, Basil. Eric or Cam, go ahead and make an investigation check for the other bodies. So the other Apoc and a Gerbine is actually the only ones there.
Damn it. 7.
7? Okay. On the other Apoc, you do find kind of a similar ill-fitting leather armor. You also do find, a short sword, just a standard short sword. It looks like the pommel has been cracked a little bit. There's kind of some like tape around it to fit, so the person doesn't get splinters when they're holding the handle of the sword. You also find a short bow. And on the Gerbine, I think last time I said he had a pretty cool hat. So you find a hat with a like very big, ostentatious blue plume.
Nice.
This feather.
Love it.
Excuse me. On him, you also find a set of leather armor, but quite small. This one does seem to actually fit him properly. And he does have a 2 daggers, kind of standard daggers. These ones look very chipped, very well used. Nothing too special about them either.
What I would like to do is wait for the appropriate moment once they get this leather armor thing sorted out, and then I'll rejoin the group.
Yep. Okay. In the meantime, as you all are attempting to strip this poor young Apoc named Brom, I realized I started calling him Todd. His name's Brom. And Basil is trying to reason with him while he's pinned to the ground with a talon, attempting to reason with him. I'm going to have you make one more. Your choice, persuasion or intimidation, Basil.
Oh, can I guess, push harder, like, on his neck with my talons to give him an advantage and be like, talk. If it takes damage, then he takes damage.
Oh, well, are you attempting to do damage here, Dace?
After what Basil said, yeah.
Okay. What's your talon damage?
It is a 5.
He's unconscious.
I'm sorry, Gabe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we carry him.
Basil, you go to ask as Dace like pushes his talons into this poor Apoc's neck, and you see just a flicker of fear in Brom's eyes before he just like lets out almost a wheeze from the weight of Dace, and blood starts to kind of pour from the holes.
Can I run in and
Is
like?
he unconscious or is he dead now?
He's unconscious, as in rolling death saves.
Can I run in and throw the leather armor that I would have taken off the dead guy? Here's your armor, and try and stabilize the Todd. Stabilize the Todd.
We got 2 armor now, though.
Medicine check.
All right.
I'm just thinking the future. Like, what if we have to act as the coalition at some point? We're gonna want their armor.
I would like to.
Yeah, the party that he was with is the coalition.
I would like, as I'm doing this, I want to think back to a certain dark someone and try and glean if he wants me to do this or not, or if they want me to do this or not.
Ooh. Okay, that's exciting. Let me check my notes from then.
I rolled a 9.
Also, is it
9 on
possible
medicine.
to, I guess, grab a good berry from Miss Q and just give it to him so he doesn't die?
Okay, give me 1 second here. I have to check back.
Maybe if the medicine doesn't work.
Oh, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Also, can dead people technically eat?
Shove it in.
Yeah.
You could pour a potion betwixt his dying lips.
Yeah, but can you mush up a berry and then Mama Bird it in his mouth?
I think you did that to bring Cam back to consciousness at one point, so
Mama Bird.
I will accept it, but I also want to know who's going to be the Mama Bird.
The Beastie Boys and Mama Bird.
Yeah.
We're circling.
Miss Q isn't a bird.
Oh, we're circling. We're getting there.
Oh.
We're getting there.
Okay. All right. So, Cam, let's resolve this first. As you are there over Brom, about to try and stabilize, you do feel a pulse where you have the burns on your arm, that part of your fur that has not grown back and likely will not grow back after coming back from the dead. You do feel it kind of pulse as you go to make contact with this Apoc's bloody neck. And just a twinge in the back of your mind as you hear, wayward soul. But that's all you get.
So I rolled a 9 on my medicine check.
Oh gosh.
So I feel like I would take that message, and rather, while it appears like I'm trying to stabilize, my like blackened hand pushes into the wound and just tries to like rip a little bit more to make it, harder to heal.
Jeez.
Oh,
Dark.
Yeah, and on a failed medicine check, I believe that's like 2 death saves gone.
It's never.
Or is that an auto like fail? I feel like that's actually an auto fail.
I don't know. You can keep going with the stuff, and I'll look it up for you.
Yeah. Take a quick look. I also feel like with what you're trying to do, I want to know the answer, but I also feel like with what you're attempting to do, you more or less finish the job.
I mean, attacking a dead guy is like crit, right?
oh man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, trying to cause damage is already critical, so I do want to know the answer, but as it appears, Cam is attempting.
Failed medicine has just no effect. It doesn't do anything.
Oh, it doesn't do anything? Okay, so we're gonna play it out like this then. As Cam is attempting to stabilize, and you all see the Apoc bleeding out a little bit more, since you are attempting to do damage, it is going to be like a critical 2 death saves gone kind of situation. As you see like fresh red blood start to pour from the wounds that Dace created on this Apoc's neck.
Do we have any way of healing this dude?
Of the good berries. Right? Or doesn't Miss Q have?
I mean,
Well, yeah.
leave it up to the DM to decide whether or not we can just match. We can just say like, "Oh, Miss Q comes in and like does something."
Yeah.
It does seem on brand with her character, but
I would see her most likely probably going in like just grabbing. So who's on top of him?
I am.
Grabbing Cam and Dace's ears, even though I don't know if owls have ears, and just like you boys, and pulls them back, and then like somehow like squishes a berry and like puts it into his mouth or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like she has Goodberry prepared. She also has Healing Word. After all of this going on, she would have made it back to you guys and just not been a part of the conversation. I feel like it is fair to say she would have made it to save him in time in the 6 seconds. Yeah, she would have made it in time. You start to see this pink glow from Mrs. Q's spell just start to heal it back together and stitch it a little bit closed. And Cam, as you feel the wound that you tried to cause underneath your finger sew itself back up, you feel almost, when you dig your nails into your own skin, you feel that in each of the finger marks on your arm.
Whoa.
Cool.
But this Apoc has been stabilized as his eyes flutter open.
But he's like knocked out.
So he is conscious.
He's conscious.
So Basil once again, like maybe like I have an idea in my brain of what I want to eventually get to, but so Basil, like maybe to really emphasize, goes up and like maybe grabs him by the shoulders and says like, I can't guarantee your safety. You need to work with us. And like maybe Miss Q is like still tending his wounds or something. And like he looks over and he sees just like Cam and Dace being like,
I want to say my eyes are glowing green right now.
Yeah.
Green eyes.
Yeah, okay. Between all of this, seeing his blood on Dace's talons, on Cam's hands, the green eyes, everybody standing over him. Braum is a little bit freaked out. I don't know what you want to know, man. I told you I'm a grunt. What the hell is wrong with you all?
Sir Basil's gonna ask, you and your crew were hiding, waiting for us along the road. That must mean that you have a base or something, a camp nearby. Tell us where it is, or take us there.
We're desperate for supplies just like everybody else. We wait for anybody who comes. You had cards. What do you think we were after?
Well, where would you go after this? Or what would you do after this?
Bring it back. But if I tell you where, you're gonna slaughter him. We already had our stores raided.
By who? And that's an owl pun.
If you have inspiration, you can lose it. No, I'm kidding.
Kind of pushing into like the pressure and the intimidation of the moment. Sir Basil just emphasizes, yeah, you need to tell us where.
You're gonna kill him again.
Yeah.
I can't tell you where. They're the only family that I have left, and I'm not going to tell you.
I'm back.
Well, your family abandoned you.
My family died in those fires. The bandits gave me a reason.
Where are the bandits now?
Well, from the looks of it, dead. As he looks towards the Gerbine and all the armor you stripped off of their bodies.
Sir Basil makes note of like is it servant? Servum?
Servant.
What about your servant friend? He ducktailed out of here as soon as he could. Didn't even think twice. Didn't even think twice to save you.
Yeah, we all know the risks. It's worth it. He's our captain. He needed to make it back.
I still got a beat on him. We might be able to find him.
What do we think as a group?
I think the captains might go back to where they came from. We can just track them.
Is this really like I'm torn because this doesn't really seem like much of a threat. I think they're just trying to survive. They just picked the fight with the wrong people.
That's for sure. As I start to calm down. We're not getting anything out of them. And we've got somewhere to be pretty quickly, so you guys do what you want with them. I'll get the cart. And I start loading up the cart with stuff.
I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
What's the point in killing him? We don't get anything out of it. Can you live with that?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
everyone's scared it's not defeated.
There's no point. He's just going to run back to where he came from with his captain.
Can we?
They're only trying to survive.
Can we hunter? Can you have hunters mark at more than one?
No.
Okay.
All right. You tell me this. Brom.
Like Bram Stoker, like Dracula's off.
Yeah, Brom. Your days of raiding people on the highway is over. You're gonna walk back to your village in shame. Even if you get there, you tell what's his face. Servant dude. If we ever see his face again on these roads, his head is going to be plastered to that tree. You do what you need to, but you don't hurt anybody else.
Oh, I love it.
Make one more persuasion.
I'm not the right person for this.
Or intimidation, whatever you want.
No, persuasion. Because they're the same anyways. It's an 18.
Sure. If I find my captain in Brackenmill, I'll be sure to relay the message. Satisfied.
Yep.
Satisfied.
Hearing that, Sir Basil probably, since the guy's naked, 'cause did we get
You
it?
have a tunic under your armor. It's just he no longer has any armor.
Okay, maybe as a gesture of good faith, Sir Basil takes out, I assume bedrolls, like maybe a blanket, just throws it over the Brom's shoulders, and then maybe Miss Quillam hands him a cookie, and we continue on our way.
I take the handcuffs off too. There's no point.
I hope I never see you all again.
That's in your best interest.
He's going to kind of. Well, hold on. He's got some pretty bad bruises and just came back from being unconscious, so he's going to drag himself off to the side of the road, watching you wearily, and just sort of glare at you as he sits for a rest.
Cool. And I guess we continue on our way.
Leaving the dead body scattered around.
Right.
And you know what? I just flick him a gold piece. Get yourself cleaned up.
Does not sound like a gesture.
Yeah, but like you garbage.
I don't want him to just die on the side of the road because he can't get anything. Like that'll be enough to at least get him some food and a place to stay for an evening.
Yeah.
Can I?
Fuck off.
Yes. What would you like to do?
Can I swap out that gold piece for a silver piece?
Apoc throws it.
Apoc just throws it and looks away, so he's not even paying attention.
So you threw it at Brom.
Yep.
Are you
I'd like to mage.
like on the ground in front of Brom?
I'd like to mage hand catch it, bring it back to me, and then mage hand carry over to him a silver piece instead.
While he's just watching.
Sure. And it's like, you don't deserve this.
I mean, he'll see you do it. He's obviously not going to stop you.
That's fine.
He'll see you do all of it. And as he kind of regards you and looks at his blood that's on your paws, on your hands, and kind of reels back just a little bit, regarding you with a strange kind of like a fuck you too, man kind of situation. As he just leaves the silver piece in front of him and watches you until you turn.
All right, I pick up the silver piece.
Oh, okay. All right. So that was half a page in my notes. As you all go back to meet with Eliza, who watched all of that transpire
Oh yeah.
by the carts. Yeah, cool.
And he'll be fine. He's got money.
Uh-huh.
We didn't leave him with nothing.
He's alive.
Yeah, I understand why you ran me over with the cart the first time now. It kind of makes sense
You know what?
based on what I saw.
Wait, he's the guy that ran you over?
No, you guys ran me over.
Oh. Oh, right.
Can we just keep going?
Yeah.
Maybe? That was, yeah, let's just keep going. Let's just go. And she'll kind of give you guys a little bit of a berth, a wide berth now as you continue on.
A wide what?
A wide berth. Like space. As you continue on your way. So that took up quite a bit of time. You were with Brom for maybe 15, 20 minutes. Are you attempting to do anything with your hunter's
I don't think so. I think no.
Okay.
Yeah, and at this point, we're kind of.
But what is it? You do get like pings in a general direction as they move?
If I try to find them, I can follow it, but I'm not. So.
It's not like a link or anything where you can get a ping when he's in your
At
range.
this point, Apoc drops his concentration on it.
Okay.
Because in my head I've established that kind of they're not really a threat. They're just there trying to survive. So based on what we've learned.
Okay. I guess before you drop it, then you do definitely get a sense that at least where you saw the servant last, they seem to be heading more in a northern direction.
Okay.
And then you drop it and you lose all kind of connection or contact you have. At this point in the day, that was a bit of a scuffle on the road shortly after you had set out in the morning. It is around noon. But because you're on this road in this forest of old growth, massive trees that are like the redwood forests in Sequoia, or the Sequoia trees in the redwood forests, but even more so, just absolutely massive.
That's cool.
It's beautiful and gorgeous and intimidating to be on this wide road, this main road, making you feel so small under these boughs. And as you push on into the mid-afternoon, you start to see other traffic on the road. You start walking up, and as you turn one of the bends in front of you, you notice a small troop who looks like they're kind of shuffling along, also with a hand cart. From the back, looking a little bit disheveled. There's maybe 5 or 6 of them kind of moving along at a slower pace than what you are all driving. You notice a few other groups in front of them kind of following along like a caravan almost of people heading towards the capital city. Stop me if you want to do anything here.
Do they look like coalition people?
As you get closer to them, you can definitely see that their clothing is ripped. They're not really wearing armor. Whatever's in the cart seems to be bags of supplies, grains, some personal belongings.
Did you need any assistance?
Coming up to the first group that you see, kind of a younger Luma, so like the pigeon folk of this world will sort of look at you kind of with a startled surprise. Are any of you wearing coalition armor right now? No. Okay.
You put it on?
You're wearing the captain's armor.
I'm wearing the captain's armor from before.
Way before. Okay. As this female Luma kind of startles and looks at all of you, noticing the vast majority of you does not seem to have any insignia that's readily available, flicking eyes over towards each of you. We're good? Thank you. Making our way.
Don't worry, we're not bandits. We just want to warn you. There's some bandits on the road coming up, so be careful. We got ourselves some cool clothes.
Oh, and at this point, her eyes will kind of flick down to that insignia. That's just ever so, because you're with the captain's armor, it's much smaller than what's on the normal, the armor that you just saw. But now that you've pointed it out so readily. Right, well, safety in numbers. That's why there's, taking whatever we had and trying to find safety at the capital.
Do we notice that she's looking directly at the insignia?
It's more of a furtive glance.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So looking between all of you, between Eliza and Mrs. Q, just sort of taking stock of, some bloody armor that you have in your cart. We're good.
Are you guys a traveling troupe? Are you just going to the capital to live? You guys performers?
At this point, you notice that it almost looks like a family. You see a couple older Luma. You see like a younger one who this woman is sort of hiding behind, like around her skirt. And all of them look a little all road weary. All of them look a little bit tired and a little dirty. And you notice the cart that they are carrying has a very solid layer of soot over it. Just trying to make a new home, that's all. Safety, and she'll look down at the little one who's kind of hiding behind her skirt. Just a better place to live.
Where were you
Here
coming
cause
from?
trouble. Pardon?
Where were you coming from?
We had a farm outside of Ashborough.
Why are you leaving the home?
Well, we heard reports that farms were being, caught on fire, and we were quite far west, sort of between Ashborough and Meadowfen. We just decided to leave before it got bad, but maybe if we had left one day sooner. But we're all okay. We were packed and ready to go, and we had to kind of run. So.
Do you know who's causing these fires?
We heard it was the Grove. All I know is we were just trying to get somewhere safe, so we spent some time.
Sorry, it was who? Sorry.
It was the Grove.
The Grove.
Yeah, the Grove was expanding.
The Scorched Grove.
The Scorched Grove to the north.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know from the very beginning of this adventure that the Scorched Grove expanding is what destroyed Ashborough.
And that's a clan, right? Or an area?
Ashborough is a little town, more of a farming town that was right on the edge of the grove. They were taking advantage of some very rich, fertile soil.
Yeah.
But when you were in Meadowfen, that's when you got the first report that the grove was gone.
Oh, okay. Got you. Okay.
That's what we're heading to Alderheart to ask for support.
Investigate, yeah. Okay.
Just so, because we're talking about a couple different places here, just so you're all informed. Brom was talking about fires outside of Bracken Mill. If you look at the map, Bracken Mill is on the opposite side of the grove. So closer to the coast and closer to the mountains.
Okay, and Ashborough is kind of...
Here, check out WhatsApp.
Yeah, Sean will send you a...
Okay.
Sure.
Sorry, it was just hard to visualize.
Yeah, it's on our campaign page if you ever want to.
Yeah.
Oh, can I do that
Where's
from
Fellowship?
D&D Beyond?
Yeah, D&D Beyond, go to your collections, hit campaign, and then click on...
Oh, no way.
Humblewood.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is always
there.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Scorched Grove, Ashborough. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
So you now know of reports on two different sides of
Yeah.
Humblewood.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to give you some reorientation here.
Okay, this makes so much more sense.
Yeah, sorry
Okay.
guys.
Oh, no worries.
Mhm.
And we are
Okay.
and we are currently on the road up to Alderheart.
You're
Okay.
currently on the road up to Alderheart, exactly.
On the left,
2/3 of the way there.
on the left-hand side of Eldenhart?
Yeah, you came from Winnowing Reach.
Okay, perfect.
Just for some flavor, Sir Basil seeing the small Luma all scared is gonna take out his pipe and just blow some bubbles in the shape of small Lumas flying in the air. Kind of, send them around the Lumas just to kind of one, show that we come in peace, and two, try and cheer up the kid.
Yeah, that's really cute. This is, how 2-year-olds hide behind their mom's legs and stuff. This is kind of what's going on here. So it's almost like he wants to smile, but kind of go like this. And it's definitely well received by this young Luma.
Maybe I send one over to boop him on the nose.
Get a little giggle.
Yeah.
They're luminescent.
Jesus.
You're on fire tonight.
That's Scorched Grove, baby.
Hey.
All right, that's enough. I'm just kidding. Are you going to Elderheart too then for safety? Taking kind of one more glance at the armor, the bloody armor, and the small insignia on Cam's shoulder.
Yeah, that's where we're going.
Well, safe travels.
Thanks.
We'll clear the path ahead.
That sounds nice.
Hey, oh, I wonder. Are there berries in the okay, there's big trees all around us, right?
Huge.
Huge trees. You know what? You see the stake here? And I'm just gonna grab some leaves and try and stain it green or something so it's noticeable. You ever see this stake on the road ahead? Just be cautious. Just in case we see anything, we'll let you know.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Very kind.
By the way, what's your name?
Oh, well, you've been kind. I'm Dahlia. And this is Teddy.
Eddie?
Yeah, the young boy hiding behind his mother's.
Nice to meet you.
You get here safely? Pardon?
Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you. Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you there, Eric. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. I'm Apoc.
Hi.
You might know me from my blogs. You traveled south.
Blogs?
Yeah, blogs.
What's a blog?
I put them up around the world. It's posted to trees. They got awful little stuff on them.
Like a poster?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you make any in Elderheart,
Well, keep posted. Bye. He's really awkward about this stuff.
bye. Unless there's any last things you'd like to say to Dahlia. They're definitely moving at a slower pace from you. You notice they do have a couple of older, probably the grandparents, as they move along, and they're slowly pulling their little hand cart with supplies as they go. But sort of the way Dahlia's family has been moving, you do notice as you continue on the road, a few other groups of people heading in towards the capital, all seeming to be road weary, armorless. A sense of just traveling to get away from something worse than the road.
Are they all covered in soot?
Well, some of them are just covered in dirt. Some of them are looking a little bit better, so they haven't been on the road for too long. But you do notice few belongings, some burned, singed clothing on quite a few of these groups as you go, and definitely people who don't look like they really should be traveling. People who feel the dangers of the road are worth it to get to the safety of Elderheart. Unless there's anything you'd like to do on this road as you go. Yeah, Cam?
I'd like to take a look at the stuff we scavenged, and if any of it seems magical, I would like to try and suss out what is magical and then figure out what it is.
All right. So the armor, the weapons, and everything like that? Yeah. As you go through, you're identified to just really try and figure out anything. You don't get any pings from the armor. You don't get any pings from the weapons. You do notice that they're all very worn. They're not in good condition. It looks like they've been adjusted, or at least attempted to be adjusted a couple times, which is not easy with leather armor. And the weapons are chipped, not well kept, could use a really good sharpening.
Then
You don't get anything.
I'll pass the hat off over to Apoc. Hey, this might be useful to do something with. Like a big long plume.
We're talking like Pirates of the Caribbean 1 kind of hats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll give it a thought.
As night does start to come at the end of the second day, one more day on the road, Eliza's starting to get a little bit tired as she's pulling her hand cart, or I don't know if Dace is taking one hand per cart. Whatever.
Is there 2 carts?
I believe you have your cart and you have Eliza's hand cart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It is starting to get a little bit dark, and you notice that it seems to be darker much earlier than you would expect in this particular time of the year. And as you kind of look up to sort of get an idea of where the moon is or where the stars are where the sky is, for that matter, knowing that you can see it over the road as these trees look to have been pruned or at least moved so sunlight does sort of hit the road every now and again. You look up and start to see these massive, massive branches, boughs that are just starting to hit your vision on the horizon. And it looks to all be coalescing, from what you can tell in this very brief bit of sky, generally in the direction of where you're going. Almost like there is a massive tree at the end of this road. And you're already starting to see the branches one foot
Very
away.
cool.
And as the sun starts to set from this direction, slowly being covered by these massive branches far earlier than you would normally expect. I don't know, are you going to be continuing on this road?
How far away does it look? Like hours? Minutes? Like.
So looking up at the branch, it's definitely hard to tell just due to the size and scope of this. You know from what you've been told, Alderheart is 3 days away from Winnow Reach. You've been traveling for 2. So you likely have about a day left.
Okay.
I'm ready to stop if you guys are. I mean, I don't know if you sleep anymore.
Is the path
Today?
kind of well lit from the stars, or if there's any lampposts along the main road?
So there's no lampposts. You do know from your other nights, like unless there's a moon in the sky, you can't really see anything just because of the size of these trees in this canopy. And now knowing that you are starting to see the tree that is Alderheart this far away, the massive branches, the boughs of this tree, the sky is even more blotted than usual.
Maybe we set up camp.
Yeah, get a fire going. Post up here. We can do watches again, right?
Yep.
Just Quillam make some grub with her pot.
Easy enough to find a place to camp. You also notice on this long road, as you do set a fire and get settled in, there seems to be almost a couple more fires farther up, one farther back where you can just see like the hint of a campfire. Other parties, it looks like, that are on this road traveling to and from the capital.
Okay.
Is there anything anyone wanted to do this night?
I wouldn't mind having a quick chat with Eliza.
Sure.
I'll just pull up next to her with my bowl of grub as we kind of get some evening dinner in us. Listen, what happened back there? That's us, but do what we need to survive. Being attacked on the road, and I mean, your life is at danger too. You saw what they were coming at us with.
Yeah,
That's the second time you've been attacked, right?
you do make a good point. You do make a good point.
Just don't hold it over their heads.
I don't know. That seems. I'm gonna be perfectly real with you.
Yeah.
You guys seem like more fun. So that was just very different. And that was a little scary, which is kind of cool. But also kind of scary.
Yeah.
Very real, I guess.
I overhear this conversation and I just shout out, "We're the Beastie Boys."
Also, yeah, that name.
No.
Nah.
Okay. I mean, we're workshopping it.
Yeah, you should keep doing that. You should keep workshopping.
Yeah. They're good guys.
Well, you know, the first time I met you, I was run over by a cart. And
Yes. I mean, you said it was the cart, right? It wasn't them.
Well, she knows it was Sir Basil.
Basil didn't do it.
Listen, he honestly, okay, when you think about it, you've seen him, right? You've seen this cart?
Yeah, it's like that one right there.
Yeah,
Jake,
so
you're pulling
like,
it.
I mean, when he's controlling it, he can't really see above either. So maybe if
I
we
never
have him
thought
a
of
booster
that.
seat.
Yeah, I never thought maybe a booster seat's a good idea. That's not a you could build that,
Sir
can't you?
Basil maybe sitting by the fire, just poking it, and he kind of like, what? What was that, guys?
He,
Oh, nothing? Oh, okay. And straight back to the fire.
so we're glad to have you with us.
Well, I'd rather be look, the last time that I was here was a long time ago with my sister traveling this road and it wasn't this bad. A little bit of a surprise, I guess.
Yeah, everyone's on edge. City's burning down, food's scarce. You've been to Alderheart, right?
Only once before. My sister moved there. She left her shop to me, so I'm back to make sure it turns out well.
You know, it'd be nice if you showed us around a little bit. I don't think anybody's been there before.
Oh, I can show you what I remember. But yeah, we can do that. Need some time to clean the road dirt off us anyway before you even try to go see the council. From what I remember, very prissy.
Also, you would know that Sir Basil,
Oh, you've been there? Okay.
like his whole backstory about
Oh, yeah.
the Corvum, or sorry, Corvum dude.
Okay. That was in Alderheart?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Maybe, yeah. You're with us, right, Basil? What do you guys know about the council?
What do I know?
Yeah.
That's it. You were still fairly young when you were in Alderheart. You do know just from being in the House of Zogma and kind of being in this upper, what's the word, aristocratic yeah, that word.
Mhm.
Being in that kind of neighborhood, the Birdfolk Council is basically the leaders of Alderheart, and because Alderheart is so big and the majority of the population, they're basically the overseers of all of Humblewood. So if there is an issue in Humblewood, it gets brought before the council. And that does include major things like trade, all the way down to civilian complaints that get brought towards the council. You do know that they are rich families, not necessarily all elected officials. And they do take time to hear concerns from citizens, but it's bureaucratic.
Okay.
How many of them are there? Do you remember?
Let's take a break. I will look
Okay.
up the answer.
I'm just thinking we need to get votes.
Yeah, take a break. I will look up the answer. Stand up and stretch.
Yeah.
Can you actually? to push on.
Yeah.
Is there anything anyone wanted to do tonight?
Yeah, during the evening, during the wash, I'm gonna try and time it out that I'm up at the same time as Basil. And like,
Okay.
hey buddy.
Hey.
Sorry to get a little carried away back there. Can't promise it won't happen again, but I think you're doing the right thing, trying to help out the group. Just thought I'd say sorry.
Well, I very much appreciate your apology. It is the honorable thing to do.
I know it's probably gonna be pretty stressful going back to Alderheart. Sounds like things weren't too great there.
Sir Basil kind of like you can tell like almost as if he's just trying to like think about how he should respond, and then he just says, "There were certainly a lot of fond memories I had growing up in the capital, but also many that I wish I never had to experience."
Well, I think sometimes it's better to, as hard as it is, remember those fond memories and forget the awful ones. Usually it's the other way around. You have any fond memories you'd like to share?
Okay, let me quickly pull up my backstory.
Pull out the Google Doc.
He'll say, "Wow, it's been over 20 something years since I've been back. It's been 20 something years since I've seen my parents and all my sisters." And then he starts to list off lavender, thyme, sage, lemongrass, and peppermint. She was my favorite. Wow, I haven't seen them in forever. And he's just kind of like, you can see he's kind of like thinking back on them, but at the same time too, like he's almost a little sad about like how it's been so long.
Question. Actually, no, I'm going to ask Andrea this because I want to just, I'll message you privately.
Okay.
That's awesome. I didn't realize he had such a big family.
Oh yeah, all jerpies too.
You want to pop by when we're there?
To be honest, I don't even know if they are still in the city.
Ask around.
Perhaps.
Sir Basil, what's your family name?
That's a good question. I never came up with a family name. Okay. What he'll say, because I don't want to just make up a random one. Being raised as servants in Zogma's house, we were never given a family name, actually. I was always just Basil until I became Sir Basil.
No family name, eh? What were your parents' names?
My father's name was Tarragon, and my mother's name was Fennel. But like I said, it's been 20 years since I've seen them.
Tarragon and Fennel, eh?
That's right.
Huh. I think I know them.
Sir Basil's ears kind of like perk up. Really?
Yeah,
How would you know them?
Just had a misunderstanding with them last time I was in Alder Hurt.
Misunderstand? What?
You know what? Don't worry about it. If we do get back to town, maybe I'll let me know before you head over, and I'll probably want to step aside.
Cool. You see kind of in Sir Basil's face like excitement because he's just put together that means that they're still there, they're still alive. He's like kind of like pondering all the questions like he wants to ask or he might ask them, but he's just kind of giddy.
I'm looking forward to as well, and I get a little giddy without being able to handle it.
His leg starts tapping.
Anyways, looks like it's a pretty quiet watch, so I think I'm gonna turn in.
As you do fall asleep, your eyes grow heavy as you sink into the darkness of your dreams. You see a single bead of emerald start to snake its way up and coalesce into a very solid point right at the farthest reaches of your vision. And as you hear the voice, it's strange here, as it seems to be in your head and yet all around you. And at times it doesn't feel like it's words so much as it's feeling. And that center of coalesced emerald grows and shrinks, kind of like audio waves would, is the best way I can describe it. It was brave of you, my child. I know you're strong enough to help these wayward souls. Just make sure you try again.
Yep, sure thing.
It doesn't seem like your voice affects the waves in any way, or this color or presence that you see in this state, as it starts to form back into a singular, solid piece of emerald and slowly blink out. But you do still get a long rest.
Cool.
Unless there's anything that anyone else wanted to do at night, you can fast forward to the next morning as your watches seem to go by just fine. No Luke to play with this time, unfortunately, but who knows, you might find him again. Eliza will kind of like stretch out fresh and new. Good to go. Last day on the road, and then we can get clean. Oh my gosh, I haven't felt so filthy and dirty in so long.
Maybe we should be the dirty birds.
Nah, keep trying.
No? Okay.
Okay, well, Eliza, if you
I
were
think
to
you guys need to do something.
go ahead.
Yeah, what's up, Cam?
What would you say would describe us as a group? Just brainstorm top of the dome.
Like the first word that I can think of.
Sure.
Hmm.
Did you say the first?
Nope. I
I don't
didn't.
know if you want to know what my first word is.
Then dirty birds it is. Oh, by the way, I like press the digitate and just start cleaning off a little bit of her clothes. Don't worry, we can clean you up.
That feels so much better. Honestly, my first word is probably going to be unexpected.
Mm.
I think that would be my word for you guys.
Okay. Cool.
Because I didn't really expect to be cleaned by a spell, so that's kind of neat.
Poof, he's gone.
And Eric ran away as soon as I was about to ask for an adventure roll, so who wants to take the blame today?
I'll take it. I'll take this one.
The real adventure was letting the dog in.
Yeah.
Oh. Right, 4?
That was a Zoom high five.
It's a high five.
Hey.
Yeah, the high five. Straight again.
With a 4, as you all get ready to go for the day and you're enough to get going, Eliza's actually very giddy to get back on the road and back on her way to Alderheart. As Mrs. Q is yesterday was quite exhausting for her, so Mrs. Q is actually going to just sit in the cart
Yeah.
and feed whoever is about to pull the cart cookies from her apron as she continues to sew the holes that Luke formed in it. As you set off for the day, I need everybody to make me a perception check.
Perception?
Perception.
I finally slept off all the death paralysis.
Yeah. You struggled with that for quite some time.
All right, so 9.
Right?
14.
5.
5. We've got a +3.
Guys.
We've all been sleeping.
No kidding. Basil's gonna need to pull all of you. As you set off bright and early in the morning, sun just starting to peak, you now get a much better idea of the size of this bough from the tree of Alderheart that is sticking out a day's ride away from it still. Basil, you are the only one to notice in the bright of this morning, this is perfect, a very little tiny speck of what looks like living flame that is hanging off of the side of a tree trunk.
Okay.
And as you set off and kind of clock where this flame is, keep going for another 20 minutes, half an hour, look kind of over your shoulder, you see this little living flame following, tracking, hopping from tree branch to tree branch as it seems to be just wiggling its way to follow you.
Okay.
Looking back at the road again, continuing on back towards this little living flame. And you can see now where it has been trying its best to keep up. There's some of the smaller branches have got into that smolder. So more like a singe where the really, really thin ones are turning a little bit burned and are breaking off and falling. You hear the falling pieces of branches and the shrubs off to the side. But this little piece of flame seems to be keeping up.
Is it Luke?
You rolled on the table that Luke has decided to follow you.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
That's what a 4 is. I can't believe that.
Put it on the table, we'll find it.
Wait, are you asking me to roll?
Is there anything? Nope, that was the adventure roll. That it seems like Luke, the little wildfire spirit gecko, has been following your trip for the past day, and you now just noticed him.
Now, I guess technically, because I wasn't on watch for that night when we met Luke, I wouldn't know about Luke.
Correct.
Okay. I just know that there's a fire speck following us.
I mean, Apoc did ask if Mrs. Q enjoyed her time with Luke.
Yeah, then we've been talking. I would assume we've talked openly about it.
Okay.
You never actually saw him.
Yeah.
Maybe as we're continuing our journey, I kind of like slow down, come beside Apoc, and I say, Apoc, look over there. Is that who I think it is? Is that Luke? You just see a little flame jumping.
Holy smokes! That's him! Luke!
Maybe Miss Quillam holds out a cookie. Luke!
Quick, grab the oven mitts.
So to give some context, he's like 20 feet up, hopping from tree branch to tree branch. It was the only way he could. You also do not have a telepathic link with him anymore, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this is really cool.
But as you continue to check, you will see him trying his best to keep up on his poor little lizard legs. And if you continue to check, you might be able to track him all the way to Elderheart.
Cool.
I can't believe that is what you rolled. That is hilarious.
You know what? When we get to Elderheart, I'm gonna make like maybe we can get like a fireproof box or something that we can like keep him in. We can give him some food, bring him along with us. Maybe, I don't know, be a little mascot.
We've come to report a fire and town burning down. Here's our friend. So as you notice Luke following you along and keeping track, continuing on throughout the day, you are now very close to the capital, and it definitely shows on this main road into Elderheart. The closer you get, the more you start to see traffic. It seems like more and more refugees are making their way towards the city. Early in the morning, kind of right after you spot Luke, you actually do see a caravan of a couple horse-drawn carriages with what looks like a pretty big detail of very well-armored, noble-looking knights who you, Basil, recognize as the Perch Guard of Elderheart.
Ooh, okay.
Bearing the emblem of the Great Tree City, the capital of Humblewood. And it looks to be covered wagons that you can see as you kind of spot them as they go by. Some faces that you did recognize from the guard of the magistrate in Northern Reach along with them. As a few of them come riding past, actually at a very brisk pace as they seem to be making their way back to Northern Reach. As you do start getting closer and closer in, there is one group that seems to stick out like a sore thumb compared to the steady stream of refugees that you've been passing along the way. And this group is pulling a very big cart behind them that has the most colorful, heavily laden pieces of fabric and poles and decorations and banners. And as you kind of start to gain on them, your cargo being much lighter than theirs, you see people who are walking on either side of this cart doing backflips every so often and easy cartwheels, trying to see how far they can walk on their hands as they race one another as they go. And they all seem to be wearing this very colorful, like pink and yellow and blue sash that sort of pins at one hip and stays nice and tight to their body. They look to be less weary, not as soot covered as everybody else you've seen for the majority of the travel here on this last day on the road to Alderheart. And they seem to be joyous, which is something you haven't experienced since leaving Meadowfen, to be perfectly honest. Base roll talent damage. As you get closer and closer and closer to this troop, you do start to hear music, as it sounds like somebody is playing a lute, somebody's playing a horn, and there is some singing going on that you try as you might, can't really make out the words from where you are, or even from the volume of the people who sound like they're just shouting it as opposed to singing. One of them doesn't seem to be on key either, or just out of joy. And as you start to approach and start to gain, you do see a few of the people who are walking beside the cart. A couple of them actually are carrying short swords and some short bows and crossbows, sort of raise a hand as they hear you approaching from the back. Hello. Hello and well met. Can you hear me? Maybe they can't hear us. I don't know.
I just continue on with my way.
Oh.
I'm just like, whatever.
These guys are at the back of the.
They're kind of like the rear guards of this procession, and what their cargo that they're carrying is huge. Think of it as like, a tractor trailer with a couple wagons kind of situation.
Oh, okay.
So they're an actual group.
Okay, cool. I guess Sir Basil yells back, "Hello there!" Kind of like waves his little hand back at him.
See, I told you they can hear us. You're traveling quite fast. Heading to Alderheart?
That's right.
Are you coming to see the show or just there on other business? We'd like to know how many tickets we need to sell.
Show? What's the show?
That's smooth.
And the guy will kind of close the distance as he jogs towards you. You see this very young, very, very like strapping, handsome Vulcan with some, as opposed to being like fox-like or wolf-like. He's kind of more on a husky, where it's very white, very pale fur with with that heterochromia, like one eye purple, one eye blue. And he is in this just amazing, beautifully colored leather armor that looks like somebody has painted over it. It doesn't look like it's been dyed very well, but more just a paint, with a very regal looking rapier on his hip. Well, we're on our way to Alderheart for the festival of the Night Mother and the Dawn Father. Dawn Mother and the Night Father. Seems like everybody could use a little bit of a festival, so we're just trying to make sure you know, tell everyone you know, it'll be grand.
Would we know what that?
Yes.
You can count me in. How much are tickets?
Oh, I was just kidding about that. We're paid by the council to entertain the audience, so they needed a pick-me-up, and we're here to supply.
Do you know where the council might be? Like, if I just want to pay them back for their generosity?
Don't be suspicious.
Can't say I've ever had that kind of a question. Might be better off asking the Perch Guard. I'm not from Alderheart, I'm just here on a summons. Gotta say, the road was not what I expected. Not gonna lie.
Why is that?
Well, I never really used to need to carry a rapier around with me, but here we are. It didn't really bother us though. We kind of made it just fine, but seems like all the folks behind there, I'm sure you passed them, need a little bit of a laugh.
Where are you guys coming from?
We are coming from that.
I like the armor. It's neat.
Oh,
Did you do that yourself?
my little girl did it for me before I left.
Well, let her know she did a good job. So where are you from?
We're from Salter's Court. We actually had to get a couple shipments in before we were able to make our way up here. But it's all going to be worth it. At least I hope so. We've been practicing this whole way up. It's taken some time. To answer your question, Basil, the Night Father and the Dawn Mother are, you would know this, everyone would know this, they are the two main deities of the Amaranthine here in Humblewood. They are Titan and Andrea. Both are more observed by birdfolk, as they are both of the birdfolk type. But they are largely considered the first of the deities to recognize life in Humblewood and create basically night and day that was able to sustain life in this world.
Okay. So big deals.
Big deals. So, I'm not gonna lie, you seem to be some of the more capable hands out on the road. I don't suppose you can give any advice on what to expect in Elderheart?
I look to Basil.
Basil just says, well, okay, because you said that this person's a Vulcan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sir Basil says, always be watching your back. For a humble folk as big as you, it might be okay, but for those small humble folk like myself, it could be still a dangerous place, despite all the amazing wonders.
Very smart advice there. I mean, I feel like that's when you come from a city of merchants, you learn to watch your back no matter your size. Quite the strapping armor you've got there yourself, good sir. Always good to know that every good group needs a protector.
So Basil just salute.
He'll kind of have this deep, like, throaty chuckle that kind of rumbles through his chest, and he'll give a little bit of a nod. Oh, should definitely look out for us. We're gonna hopefully get into Humblewood hopefully get to Alderheart by late this evening. The festival's in 3 days though. We're gonna be throughout all the districts. It's gonna be grand.
Hey, what's your troop's name?
Shoot, that was the one thing.
All right. Okay.
Have to prepare.
Never mind.
We are the flip.
The flip flips?
I'm just
Sure, the flip.
We're talking about names and a little inspiration. Flip flips. That's cool.
We specialize in those acts of daring.
You're not associated with the flip flops. You're not associated with the flip flops from Salter's Port, are you?
I hate those guys.
No, they don't get invited to something this big.
They were a little bit of a.
Actually, I heard that they went overseas for better business.
Yeah.
What's that, man? Sorry, I missed what you said.
Nope, nothing.
Okay.
Don't oversee.
Well, it was real nice to meet you all. Remember, tell everybody you can. We're excited. And if you ever want to get a little look-see at how the performers are actually able to do what they can after a show, seem like nice people, can just ask for Jace, and I'll be able to show you the ropes, as it were. Feats of strength are always fun, especially after.
Very cool.
And by this time, as you've all been kind of walking and talking, you sort of catch up with the back, the middle, and then back to the front of this traveling troupe. As you notice, everyone's sort of joyously waving, and Jace has slowly needed to up his volume as you've reached the people playing the instruments. Some good, some not. But you're slowly overtaking this caravan of the flip-flips.
Was the whole caravan the flip-flips, or is it just Jace's group that are known as the flip-flips?
Oh, we're traveling troupe.
Okay.
Known as the flip-flips.
Okay. So
I'm just the one paid to keep everybody safe.
Gotcha. Okay. You don't. Okay.
I don't perform, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. No, that's all right. I just didn't know if the band was also the flip-flips, or if they were like the.
Well, they're performers. They're part of the show.
The dove steps. Names are fun.
Just keep it going.
I spent so much time naming like taverns in Alderheart and stuff, and I didn't think to name the people who might actually meet this session.
This is we make this stuff up on the fly. You don't got a name, we'll give it a name.
So, what's your group called then?
Oh fuck! Don't ask. We forgot to.
Oh, how about like
Progress?
the Firefurters? No bites.
Fire.
All right.
I kind of. It's just it doesn't roll off the tongue.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe Dace has got something in the barrel. He's quiet back there. Wait, Dace.
I'm thinking.
Jace. You guys don't know each other, do you?
Oh hey.
Jace, Dace.
Oh, Jason Days.
Jason Days.
Shoot. Why am I so bad at names,
No,
you guys?
it's good.
Don't think we have met.
Your Days?
You're Jace?
That's pretty cool.
That's a good looking name.
Hey.
Get you
Well, I
on
definitely
the
hope to
side.
see you guys again. You're fun. Well, safe travels though. Looks like we can at least see the tree. That's pretty incredible, isn't it? As he looks up to see the boughs of the great tree above the heart. But I gotta get back to my post. Nice chatting. Hopefully see you all at a show. And he'll kind of give one final wave, turn, and jog back to the back of the line. As you continue on, passing the circus troupe as you go, the day goes by for the most part uneventfully, which is kind of a welcome change, at least to Eliza, who is getting more and more antsy. And as twilight does start to creep in after a full day of walking, you can finally see the gates on the ground as you approach what you originally thought from farther up the road to be a very thick strand of trees. That the closer you get, you now see is one giant trunk. Even as you approach these gates, you notice that from farther back, although you saw the insignia that is the Alderheart crest, as you get to the gate itself, you realize this gate is located on a root, a massive, massive root that slowly starts to incline towards this tree trunk. And as you start upwards towards the gate, you realize that as you step onto the root off of the stone itself, although it looks like organic matter, like tree bark, it is hard. almost like you're stepping from stone onto stone. There's no squishiness, there's no give under your feet, even though you now know for certain you are just on this massive, massive tree root. When I say massive, I'm talking like the size of a highway tree root. This thing is huge. And as you look under your feet, particularly those who have spent a little more time in nature, Basil, you would know this, living in Alderheart, Apoc, just growing up on an orchard, being a little more familiar with the nature of trees. The bark on this root, it looks like it's still and not drained of color, but not full of it either. Almost in this state of living petrification.
Ooh.
As it appears to be vibrant and humming with life, but not quite alive. And as you approach with many other groups who have been traveling on the road towards Alderheart, waiting in line to get entrance to the city, past the perch guards and into Alderheart proper, you can see that this route you are on extends for, I'm going to use metric here because I don't know Imperial very well. You can see that it extends for like at least a kilometer and a half before it starts to join with the trunk of this massive tree. From here, looking up, although your vision is still kind of clouded by the canopy of redwoods that you have been traveling through for so long, craning your neck to get the best view of the sky that you possibly can, the boughs of the Alderheart tree block out the sun. This thing is huge. It's massive. And as you look up, you do see leaves moving in the boughs. This kind of silvery tinge to them as they shine light down onto you from the twilight of the setting sun. You do see the bark in almost this mirror-like iridescent form as the sun reflects off of it as it starts to set. Not quite that deep brown that you've grown accustomed to in the forest so far, but this beautiful, eerie, creepy, in the most magnificent way, this living petrified tree. You can see as you look, there are lights, holes that seem to have been carved or shaped through in perfect circles, protrusions that look like homes have been built on the outside of this trunk. From this distance, it's hard to make out anything more than just where you see lanterns, where you see the road along this route being lit by what you can tell is, at least up near the gates, arcane, not fire that seem to flicker and glow and move and dance all on their own without any wind or air moving through them. And as you pass through the gates, finally entering at least the base of this tree, this Alderheart home, you feel the smallest you've ever felt. Basil, you're never the tallest one in the room, but this dwarfs you even more than normal as you crane your neck to look up to the very, very top. Stop me if you want to do or say or look at anything, but as you and the other refugees from the road are kind of shunted inwards towards the base of the trunk itself, walking this kilometer and a half, more and more of this trunk starts coming into view. And just from the look of it, you would expect that it would take at least a day to even make it from one end of the trunk to the other. And that's a straight line through it.
Wow.
As you come up to where the root meets the trunk, you see this very intricate, very elaborate, and very beautiful brass pulley system. So a very rudimentary version, arcane-driven elevator that looks to be quite large, seeming like it may have been used for freight as opposed to anything else to fit all of the carts and refugees that are coming through. And stepping into the elevator, although it's a little bit squishy with all of your materials, as you turn to look out over the forest that you just spent 3 days trekking through, as the elevator brings you up and up and up to the middle of the trunk, you realize even at the middle of the Alderheart trunk, you are above the tree line and have one of the most beautiful, breathtaking views of this forest that you've ever seen.
Is Luke still following us?
Roll a perception check. You can all roll a perception check if you want.
14.
12, 14.
19.
Ace
It is in 10.
and 10. Dace is just in awe at the moment that you approach the gates. But the rest of you do notice this little flicker. It's kind of hard to tell since the road at the gate where you started onto the root of the Alderheart tree. Just a tiny little flicker off to the side that you think is Luke. Apoc, based on your familiarity with him, it's a pretty good chance that that's Luke. As the elevator or this pulley system, this arcane pulley system, grinds to a halt about halfway up the tree, some of the perch guard, those very elaborately armored bird folk that you saw carrying supplies to Winnowing Reach, sort of usher everybody off and through a series of checks where carts are checked to make sure that none of the belongings are dangerous in any way. You see a few groups being questioned a little bit more vigorously than others. You see some of the refugees being kind of shunted towards what looks like infirmary wards, some who are carrying burns, some who are carrying very poorly set splints of broken bones in different ways, some who had a little bit more trouble on the road than others, who need a little bit of liquids, a little bit of solids in them. And as a perch guard approaches your group, travelers, business, welcome to Alderheart.
Dace, you're the bird folk.
Anything you want to claim? Passports, please.
You
Oh,
need
you're
it.
on mute there, Dennis.
Oh.
Oh, no, you're not.
Papers,
Okay.
please.
Hello?
I can
Hello.
hear you.
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello.
Testing.
We can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah.
He can't hear
Thumbs
us.
up?
Can you hear us?
1 second. I'm just gonna.
God, I hope you got that description that you.
Yes. Yeah. When did I cut it?
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
okay. We're back. We're back.
Did you hear what Andrea was saying?
Passports?
Okay.
Yes. No. You have a bird folk, part of the perch guard, kind of come up to you, look at your crew with Eliza, your 2 carts. Are you here for business? Are you a refugee?
We are here for business.
Okay. I need names and where you're from. He kind of has this long scroll in front of him.
Let me see. Did we get anything from? Where is the place?
Winnowing Reach.
Yeah. Or was it just like a, hey, let's head to Alderheart?
Wait, no, sorry, it was Meadowfen.
Meadowfen?
We
Right.
started in Middlefin.
Sorry.
Yeah, we started. Yeah.
The only piece of formal paper you have with you is what Camembert has from the scribe at Winnowing Reach, but that is likely not what you need.
Hmm.
We didn't get anything from Meadowfen from Arwen? I thought he gave us.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
We are here on business to seek the council.
Yeah, a lot of people are seeking the council.
Check our old notes.
You're welcome to see the magistrate. You're welcome to bring your concerns up to him first, and he'll decide where it kind of goes in priority order. But for right now, I just need to know your names. I need to know where you're from. I need to know if you have any dangerous goods on you.
We bring warning, and in my hand, you start to see a ember bat start to glow as I use minor illusion to show these things are coming for Alderheart, and we have an important message to tell them. So it'd probably be best to at least have one of your porch guards, whatever they are, bring us to the council immediately.
I'm familiar with ember bats. We've been kind of fighting them fairly well. They're bats.
I make it bigger. These ones are bigger.
Persuasion check. Been the roll tonight.
It's a nat one.
And that's been the roll tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Like I said, you're welcome to go see the magistrate. He decides who the council sees. Everybody has concerns, and the council will see everyone in priority order. Like I said, I just need your names, where you're from, if you have any dangerous goods.
Sir Basil speaks up and said, no dangerous goods here, just travelers, as we said, to come speak to the magistrate. I am Sir Basil of Alderheart. And then...
And I am Dace from Crest Mountains.
Okay. From
Oh, the farm's down south. You know, like Marshview?
Pulls
That
it
area.
back. Okay.
Miss Quillam says she's from Meadowfen.
Yeah, Miss Cole will say.
Filbert Pollywag.
Deception check, my friend.
And as soon as he says that, no one in the group even twitches. They're just like, yeah.
It's a 14.
14. Okay.
Sorry, deception? No, that's much lower. That's a 10.
Oh, okay. Oh, hold on. Let me pull it up.
You just hear Apoc chuckle a little bit as he says Pollywag.
Okay. I will contest it with his insight. That's a nat 1.
Oh, wow.
And
And where you're from? Filbert?
Filbert Pollywag Esquire, legal representative of the group. I hail originally from Salter's Port.
Okay.
You just see Miss Quillam. It's like so like doesn't even know what to say. She's just speechless.
All right. And you, and he'll gesture to Eliza, and she'll kind of step forward. I can vouch for these guys. They traveled with me. My name's Eliza Pennickley. I have a deed to the Emporium in the Canopy Market. I'm here to take over my sister's store, and she'll hand over kind of the scroll that she had carrying the deed. The guards kind of just look at it, give a little bit of a nod. You know your way around then?
Indeed.
Okay. Cool.
That was a bad joke.
Oh, I get it.
Welcome to Alderheart, all of you. We're a bit stretched thin, so you know, there's a zero tolerance here for any violence. The council will bring justice to anyone who threatens to destroy the safety and peace, as a lot of refugees are here. I don't want any trouble from any of you. Agreed?
Agreed.
Let me try that again. Agreed?
I'm not saying anything.
Basil, being very respectful of the perch guard, just salutes and say, yes, sir.
All right.
I can only do my best.
As legal representative, if that's a threat, you'll be hearing from our lawyer, which is me, Filbert Pollywag.
Mr. Pollywig, it's our welcoming message. You understand there's bandits out there.
Message. It's the tone. I don't appreciate the tone. Let's go, folks. We're welcome in. And I turn tail and definitely run.
All right. Into Halderheart you go. So by this time, it is in that twilight zone.
We're in the Twilight
We're
Zone?
in the Twilight Zone. I realized it as soon as I said it. And as you kind of walk out of this customs area, is the best way I can describe it, you walk into... It's difficult to wrap your head around until you see it. The inside of this tree is hollow, but it is teeming with life. You walk into an area known as the trunk market, the midway point, and Eliza will kind of tell you as much as you go along. And the best way to think of the trunk market is a bazaar, like Bazaar, bazaar. There are stalls and shops. Some are just tents. Some have been carved into the tree itself. But as you kind of look around and get a better idea of this hollow, massive tree where you cannot see the other side of this marketplace, every wall in here is completely smooth, as though the tree itself has been gently shaped, almost in a malleable, pliant way, to make cavities where stores can be inlaid, and to rise poles that are made of this petrified wood out of the floor itself. Along the outside of the trunk market, you see this beautiful, elaborate staircase that seems to have been made from the same way, this malleability of the wood of the tree itself. And an interesting thing that you note now thinking about it, although this tree is hollow and is clearly not living, you saw green leaves. You saw a healthy looking tree from the outside. And it's more apparent than ever as the inside, the rings of this tree that you look down at your feet and can see on the floor on which you walk. The patterns of striations in the walls of this tree that you see as it extends upwards to a point you can't see above you. Even in the stairs as you walk towards the staircase or walk towards one of the other brass arcade lifts to bring your carts up to the upper markets. The inside seems to almost take the light and take the lanterns and the flames that are flickering, these arcane flames, and radiate that light. So it looks just like a market teeming with life at dusk, where the darkness of the night doesn't seem to permeate here as much as it did outside. As Eliza kind of leads you through and leads you around, it is busy and it's tight with your carts, especially in this trunk market area. But once you get into this elevator and again, bring yourself up, you get this magnificent view of the whole entirety of the market itself. Looking down, it's beautiful. The colors of the different tarps, of the different tents, the colors that people are wearing. You actually do see a few of Jace's circus troupe in their very colorful pink and yellow and blue sashes that seem to have made it a little bit ahead of you. And as you slowly rise higher and higher and higher in the tree, the trunk market starts to disappear. You pass a very thick section of ceiling, of floor, a little bit hard to tell from the elevator itself, as your whole world kind of gets very, very dark as you pass through the wood of this tree. And you open up into another floor that reminds you far more of a residential courtyard as the elevator grinds to a halt for people to get in and out. And from where you are now, looking around, it appears like you're back outside in part, and you start to see branches of this tree, these boughs that you saw a day away on the road, extending out in every single direction, blocking out the night. These lanterns that have been lit around, just giving this ethereal kind of feel to this beautiful, almost like fairy lights in the backyard in the summertime, if you can picture that. It's beautiful and wonderful and warm, and people are more finely dressed than you're used to seeing here. All of the bird folk, mostly bird folk, some humble folk are more in colorful clothes with very nice sparkled embroidery on the cuffs, on the lapels. And they seem to be enjoying a stroll through this courtyard, this park. It looks like there is a whole mini ecosystem in the middle of this disc as the elevator starts to close and grind upwards. You realize you are outside, but the boughs are so thick that it almost seems you are underneath this kind of solarium, I guess. And as the elevator continues up through the branches, through the boughs, and finally comes to a stop where Eliza tells you is the canopy market, you realize that you are at a very scary height in the tree, where you now see leaves above you. And the leaves are the size of you in diameter. They're huge, they're thick. It looks like they might crush you if they ever chose to fall. But they seem to kind of sway very gently at this altitude in the tree. And as you all exit the elevator in the canopy market, it's not as busy or as buzzing as the trunk market where you first came out and were welcomed into Alderheart. But you do see very fine shops, no tents here. These ones seem to be behind glass with doors that lock. You see a couple of bakeries, you see some very interesting baubles that seem to almost spin and levitate on their own in the window of a closed shop. You see a bookbindery, a papery that seems to have this magnificent selection of old tomes right in the shop window. And as Eliza leads you and the cart around to what seems like the very opposite side as you've been walking forever, you finally arrive at a shop called the Emporium. Seems to be a little bit run down, maybe closed, a layer of dust that has sort of settled. And you can see Eliza just kind of take a deep breath, and from the inside of her traveling jacket, pull out a long, very cool looking skeleton key that she's been carrying around that has like a 3 triangle kind of prong. And as she slips it into the lock and turns it of this Emporium, opening the door, there's a little bit of a layer of dust that kind of poofs as the door moves and the wind comes through. But you see kind of very dimly lit with a lantern that's still hanging on the wall with this arcane flame, a beautiful room. Circular carved, but again, looking like the tree has almost been pushed into this position. Where you've seen striations in the trunk market and rings on the floor, you see the same here, but it looks almost like these striations have been lacquered so that they are this reddish hue that seems to shine on the walls. There is this counter on the very far end with a staircase leading up behind it as Eliza kind of takes one somewhat shaky step into her late sister's shop for the very first time in quite some time. She sort of put both hands on her hips. Do you like it?
I'll say, wow, this is a tremendous view. I cannot believe that this is a tree that we're standing on. Quite the shop.
Can I help you with your trunk?
It doesn't deserve a laugh, but it is.
I'll leave you to it.
That was painful. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Sure. Why not? I would drink to that. That sounds. I would love help with my trunk. Thank you. There is. I think there's room. Man, I haven't been here forever. My sister said there was a bedroom here somewhere, but I'll find that tomorrow. Just bring everything in. It'll be fine in here. Just like I remember it, though. My sister ran this shop. She was quite the purveyor of magic items. She put every last penny she had into making this here. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great.
Does it look like there's any magic items left there?
There's some odd baubles here and there. Nothing that's been kind of left out on the shelves, but you can see Eliza you see Eliza actually on the other side of the counter starting to rummage around. I knew she had it here, and she'll actually pull out a little bottle. So my sister, she was awesome. She actually studied at the AVM, so a lot of what she sold here is stuff that she tinkered with and kind of enchanted on her own. But whenever she came home, she raved about this drink. And she always told me that she kept something behind the counter just for whenever she finished her enchantment or made a sale. So thanks for getting me to Alvar, you guys. That was quite the trip. And she'll kind of open it, just sort of. You guys jumpaphobes? No?
Chairman, what?
Cool, that's all I need to know. And she'll take a big swig and pass it on to you.
Sure, why not? Like, I'll pass it on to Dace.
You remember the apple brandy that Andrew and Jim made?
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
Hey.
Hey,
That's awesome.
pour one out for the homies.
So I think you guys need to have something like puns in your name, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
It seems like you enjoy making puns. Even though they're bad. You know, like the bad pun bads.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can only think of tree puns right now.
You know, just sleep on it, just sleep on it.
Yeah, you gotta branch out a little bit more.
Oh. It's not much right now, but you guys are welcome to stay here. I mean, it's the least I can do after you got me here safely. But
Is it like evening at this point? Because I know you're talking about the twilight. Like,
it is, yeah. So it's early evening.
how bustling is the market outside?
The market was bustling. There were some shops that were closed. some that the bookbindery wasn't open, for example. There was one with the baubles and trinkets that were kind of floating. That one was closed as well. But there are also many taverns and restaurants and some shops that are open, you know, the ones that on Saturday are open till like 8 o'clock. Those kinds of shops that are still sort of bumping.
Do I see like people at like do I see like any like kids?
Like children?
Yeah.
You don't see any children at this point.
Okay.
So do I get the vibe that this is kind of like the, I guess, quote unquote, like the upper class, like upper,
Yes.
I don't know, whatever.
That's the vibe I got too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the understanding just from the brief glance and from what Eliza told you. The trunk market
Mhm.
definitely seems to be more of the, like currently it's being used kind of like half a market, half a refugee hostel. And then as you go up and up the tree in this canopy market, which is almost as high as you can go, it definitely looks a little more ritzy.
Okay, that's kind of like more mature, high end. Like they don't just like kids playing around and stuff. So okay.
Yeah, like not near university, so the bars are a little bit nicer kind of situation.
So this is like a commercial area, or is it like also residential and commercial? Like what?
What you see in the canopy market itself, it does take up the whole diameter of this tree.
No.
So Eliza, if you're setting up shop and you haven't been here, like you're gonna definitely need to get yourself off the ground if you're gonna make this successful. What can we do to help?
That's a great question, Cam. I don't know. My sister left this to me. She also said that there was definitely stuff she hadn't sold. It was just kind of like hidden away, so no thieves would think to get it. I just gotta find it, and at least it can fill the shop for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I have what I collected in Winnowing Reach, so I could put that out. That'll be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just clean up and open the doors.
All right. No, if you don't mind, I can go help clean up. I can help clean up, and I'll just start dusting and moving stuff over, and secretly looking for the loot.
The loot?
He's just gonna try and steal stuff.
Oh, the LOOT. Got it. Okay. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Were you saying something?
Did your sister? You said she made magic items, and that's kind of the business model, right? Do you plan on making some too?
Well, she was more the creator, but I'm a little bit more of the. I obtain the things to sell.
Gotcha.
I didn't really inherit that creative gene, but I feel like I can be okay here. The Abrams not too far away, and I'm sure I could pay somebody to help me stock my shelves.
That's fair. That makes sense. Just curious.
Investigation check, Bear. If you are looking for loot.
Come on, no whammies, no whammies. It's a 14.
14. So in this main area, unless you're planning to go up the stairs or through the door that is kind of like hidden behind the counter, in this main area, it's dusty. A couple little knickknacks on the shelf. You see like a mirror that kind of has a little crack in the bottom of it. You see a couple other trinkets, but no loot in this case. Just a lot of dust.
All right, we'll just clean up the dust.
But Basil, just to answer your question, from what I remember of this place, this is more like the market, the homes for people who want to purchase or buy or sell here in the market is one stop lower. You remember that courtyard? That's where those homes are.
Question. just so that I could like reference it from Basil's history, because he grew up here. Where, in terms of where the shop is, like, would this market be familiar to him, having grown up in the house of Zogma?
Yeah. So the elevator didn't stop in the area that you'd be most familiar with, which would be the bows. So that's kind of one layer lower, but branching out into the actual boughs of the tree. You did recognize the trunk market. Quite familiar with the trunk markets. That's where you came in, although it definitely looks different from what you remember 20 years ago.
Yep.
The canopy market, you do remember, although you've only been here like a handful of times. Like when your mom and your dad, and it was just you, where you were under supervision at all times so that you didn't touch anything as a young kid, and couldn't knock anything over or break anything.
Cool.
You say bowels or bows?
Bows.
Okay, bows.
Would I have an idea of like where Zogma's residence would be?
You have a bit of a rough idea. You could find it if you took some time to look.
Okay. The reason why I was asking, I didn't know like if we were really close to it or something, and like that might affect how I might do stuff. But yeah.
So you're not in the residential neighborhood, but it's that one layer lower in the bows that this residence would be.
Cool. Okay.
Elias is just going to kind of be next to you, Cam, and just starting to. I feel like I need like a brush or something first. Maybe I'll have to pick that up tomorrow because I don't have one. But if all goes well, I can open tomorrow, and then I make a sale. Dinner's on me. I owe you guys one. Thanks.
How late is it into the night?
Like it was early evening. The more you kind of sit and talk, the later it's gonna get. I'm assuming that time is just sort of passing as you're reminiscing and tidying up and everything like that.
Passing around the bottle.
Passing around the bottle. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You do hear like music from one of the taverns across the way.
Okay.
Sorry, unless there's anything you wanted to do, Dace?
Not really, right? Because it's late at night, so majority of the shops are closed, correct?
The later it gets, the shops are going to start to close. There was one or two open when you first arrived, so if you did want to take a look, we can go look. But as it's starting to get later, closer to like your 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, where it's just the taverns and music out there, that would be kind of the point where we're at now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just hang around here.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we need to find a place tonight? Like, should we go look for an inn? Or... You only got one bed here, right, Eliza?
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be quite dusty, so I was just going to take out my bedroll, if I'm being honest. You're welcome to stay. You're welcome to go find a tavern, but I think I'm going to stay.
What do you guys think?
Tavern sounds pretty nice.
Yeah.
We've been on the road for the past 3 days.
Works for me.
We heard music from a tavern close by.
See you tomorrow then, guys.
See you tomorrow, Eliza.
Yeah.
As you all head out to go and find the tavern, if you're looking for the one that had music playing from it, you absolutely find it as the Golden Galleon, which is kind of just on the other side of Eliza's shop. I most definitely named a lot of these for Harry Potter, so
Yeah.
buckle up. And as you kind of approach the Golden Galleon, you can see that it is more towards the middle, carved from kind of its supporting piece of petrified trunk, as it were. And it is absolutely bumping. There seems to be a string on stage that you can see through the window who's like playing the fiddle, but doing the thing where he's tapping his foot while he's playing, kind of dancing around, and you see a Luma on the flute and a Vulcan kind of striking at a lyre as they go, and they're just having a riot of a time. You can hear like banging on the tables as everybody's hitting along to the beat, and it seems like a cool place for something that is nicer on the outside. Heading in, it's nice and warm. It's very inviting, and if you wanted to stay and get a good look or sit for a drink, you can definitely do so. Sit for a warm meal. It seems like there's you out here on the all-you-can-eat buffet kind of day, so it's whatever you prefer. This is definitely more of a riot of a place for a nice district such as the Canopy district. But it's more than enough rooms to accommodate whoever wants one. Unless there is anything anyone wanted to do before bed.
I just want to get food in me.
Yeah, I was about to
Long
say,
trip.
you guys get a room. I'll be back there.
We grab a room or two, we throw our stuff down there, we go downstairs, get some food, have some drinks, and then we relax for the night.
Easy enough to do. There's whatever your heart can imagine, it's there.
Hey.
Yeah, you got there on a good night. Unless there's anything else, though, it is 10 o'clock, so I can say we'll end there.
Time.
It was very narrative heavy, so thanks for just letting description
The
go.
description of the tree, besides like,
Yeah.
despite the tree puns, it was very like, I was
You
like, wow,
planned
that's
so
intense.
much. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool. Really cool.